Ladies and gentlemen, we're live June 19th, 2025, coming at you live from the 2LaneLIVE headquarters in Canoga Park, California. This episode is brought to you by Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys. Get in an accident, find yourself in a pinch, give them a shout before you call insurance and after calling 911 if need be, and they will make sure that you are taken care of. Today, we got the one and only Bill Davidson in the house, kind of in the house. He's tuning in from Milwaukee. We're going to talk bikes. We're going to talk carbureted bikes because we are riding those to Sturgis, and there'll be more on that later. We're going to talk Born Free, Harley Ride Challenge, and everything in between. What's going on, boys? What did we do this week?
Well, he's in the house. He's in the Harley house.
The house of Harley.
That's it. We can't wait to get to Bill, but we want to talk a little bit about carbureted bikes, Born Free, Homecoming, Sturgis. Spend the next hour just, picking the brain. And we've had Bill on before and Karen, but this man has ridden on carbureted bikes as well. He's done everything. It's going to be great to have a conversation with him. Did I mention the ride challenge? I don't know if I did, but we'll be talking about all those things.
Yeah, and you know what? It's all about motorcycles. Motorcycles without them, I mean, just think about what our lives would be like. We know so many people, we've met so many people, and it's all about riding around the country, shaking hands with America. And it's all, if it wasn't for motorcycles,
I'll tell you what,
we wouldn't be on this screen right now.
Every morning, I pull the bike out of the garage and I ride around the corner and I see my truck just sitting there. The truck that I just got that I was so excited about for 48 hours. And I'm always so much happier to be riding my bike and not being in the mundane truck drive experience.
So you can go to 2LaneLIVE.com and get this beautiful trucker hat, go ride. We do not want to sell the Sarloos and Sons hat.
It's just
wearing
my
over there.
favorite hat.
That's a great hat. We love Keith.
And you don't want to sell my cowboy hat.
And I would say it's not even a shameless plug. There is no shame. We're just plugging the hats because if you like us and you like these videos, sometimes you might need to buy a hat.
Well, we're embarking on a whole new journey. We're starting today. We started last week. We got some new bikes. We're building them up. We're going to ride them to Sturgis. The excitement, the energy around this whole thing, we're very, very happy. If you haven't seen it, go back to our channel and watch the video from yesterday. You'll know what we're doing.
Well, what does that mean?
Go watch our video.
What did we do yesterday? What did we drop?
We dropped a video on how we picked up our bikes, where we found them. And I don't know if we're talking about much what we're going to do to them.
No.
This is kind of neat because we have brand new Harley Davidsons that are just unbelievable, but we picked up old ones, and we're going to be talking with Bill Davidson, and he has a deep history with motorcycles. So we're going to go back in time, and that's how we're going to go to Sturgis.
So if you haven't watched yesterday's drop, we picked up a 2005 Electric Glide.
2005.
2005, 2005. Is that not correct?
I don't know.
2001, just for
20,
that,
just
for
to
you.
Be a
Dinah, and we picked up a 2001 Road King. They are all beautiful bikes. We're excited. We're working on them now. We're doing some things to prep them for this ride to and from Sturgis. So it's going to be exciting. And the video's done really well. Thank you for all the people that have commented. We've even had people say, now that you're on carb bikes, I'm going to tune into you more. So it's not bad.
We had like 300 comments as of this morning, and maybe like 4 of them are really interesting, we'll say.
Yeah.
But a majority of people were super stoked. For those that were having trouble using their eyeballs, if you read a little bit in the description, we did say the price of the bikes that we paid, the budget that we had set. I broke the rule by $500 because it was a gym, but our goal was to pick these bikes up for $5,000 each to show you not only can you just do it with a regular bike, but you can also find a quality Harley Davidson for that price. And just, we got some other things.
But our 2 bikes were $200 each to register. So we're closing the gap on yours.
And he paid registration on the one I got.
Yeah,
so
$70.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'd like to thank Firestone Walker and 805 for supporting us in the channel. So without further ado,
let's get Bill in here.
Bill in.
Can I get a quick drum roll? Kind of quiet so the mics don't pick. Perfect. Bill, what's happening?
How are you guys?
Good.
Bill, long time.
Yeah, great
Well, we
to see
saw
you
you in
both.
Santa Clarita.
Yeah, that's right. We saw him at the opening.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, that was
So you
awesome.
were listening.
I've been busy. I was on the Kyle Petty cross country charity ride, which was fantastic. I just got back from the European Hog Rally in Pula, Croatia, which was
Wow.
also fantastic. And looking forward to our Harley homecoming coming up with some awesome talent with Hank Williams Jr. and Chris Stapleton. And this weekend at the museum, I'm actually in my office at the museum right now, and there's a bike night going on outside. I can hear all the music playing and the bikes coming in. But this weekend on Saturday, we do something that's really cool. It's called Wild Ones Weekend, and it's older field games. You know, bite the weenie and the slow race, and a lot of knuckleheads, panheads, shovelheads, flatheads. It's really cool.
So you've been riding your whole life. You're into motorcycles. You have a love for it and a passion for it. How does it feel to actually be sitting in your office at the museum, knowing that this whole thing is around your family? That's incredible.
It is incredible, and I am obviously very, very, very proud. When you think back to the early beginnings with my great grandfather, William A., his two brothers, Walter and Arthur, my great uncles, and then their good friend, Bill Harley. You know, in the early 1900s, this was a dream. And that's all it was. There was no Harley Davidson, but those guys were probably having a beer and sitting around and saying, wow, wouldn't it be cool to put a motorcycle together? And one thing that was really intriguing to me, Bill Harley, when he was 15 years old, he worked at a bicycle manufacturing company in Milwaukee by the name of Musselbach. So at 15, Bill Harley was getting very comfortable with two-wheel transportation, because back in the early 1900s, that's what it was. It was transportation. It wasn't a form of recreation until the 30s and 40s, when racing started to come on during the weekends and people would get together as groups and ride to the races. Prior to all that, it was more utilitarian and transportation. But what's really neat is Bill Harley gained this expertise on two-wheel transportation at a very young age. And he and Arthur were kind of the first two that said, hey, let's think about this. How can we put a motor in a chassis and create a new form of transportation? It's pretty wild. And to know that we've been through a lot, and a lot of good and some scary moments, but mostly good, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
to know that we're 122 years old and going strong and having exciting times with all our customers and getting out and riding, that's the name of the game, man. It's no matter where I am in the world, if I can throw a leg over a Harley Davidson and enjoy the freedom and the open road, I'm all about it.
Talk a little. You mentioned, starting the racing back then and how that was going on, and now you roll that forward 120 years, and the last three or 4 years, you've got these big old baggers running these race courses, and pretty exciting, isn't it?
Oh man, we were Dad, Willie, and I, and my wife Angie, and the family. Karen was with us, my daughter Kara, the whole family. We were up at Road America, which is about 50 miles north of Milwaukee. It's the oldest road race course in the U.S., and it's a 4-mile track. And to hear those baggers on that track, it was truly music to everyone's ears. And what was really cool is on Saturday, did very well. Kyle won, and
Yep.
he gave that trophy to Willie in winner's
Oh,
circle.
really?
Yeah, it
Nice.
was really neat.
Well, that was
So-
a sweep. It wasn't just Kyle won.
That's
Right?
right.
All Harley,
That's right.
All Harley Davidsons won.
Yeah, and we did well that weekend. We got 5 podium finishes and propelled Kyle further into the lead. So it was awesome.
Nice.
Well, had Willie seen the races up close?
He has, and he's all about it. He absolutely loves it. His family room at home is filled with King of the Bagger stuff. And now a trophy from Kyle, and it's great. And I tell you, the team is fantastic. All the riders, the team that supports them, it's it's family. We talk about family a lot in the Harley world because it truly is family, and this racing family is a part of that world, and they're a fantastic bunch. And to see what they're achieving in this King of the Baggers series is absolutely amazing, to the point where, as most people know, we are now going to be running a class at 6 MotoGP races in 2026.
Yeah.
Wow.
That amazing. And the speeds these guys are pushing today is just insane.
It is amazing. And the other thing to remember, a lot of the MotoGP bike, it has a lot of electronic devices on it to help with the handling and go fast. The King of the Bakers, it's a raw motorcycle. It's a throttle. There's no anti-dive. It's you in that bike, and there's not a lot helping you out, which is why you see them backing into the corners, sliding into the corners, accelerating, and the back end kicks out a little bit. It's awesome. And it's 600 pounds, so
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing what these guys are achieving.
Well, it brings everyone to the wall. Whether it's an oval or a Daytona or a road, it brings everyone to the wall to hear those beasts running through there. So how do you relate that to us getting on carbureted bikes and racing our way to Sturgis?
I heard a little bit about you guys got some older bikes, huh?
Yeah, 2005 Electric Glide, a 2001 Road King, and a 2001 Dyna, and we're going to go with the Thrashing Boys, and everyone's on carb bikes, and we're going to just go back in time and have a fun ride.
And we were going to go a little bit earlier with the Evos, but we were kind of challenged there, saying, hey, we're going to leave you guys behind if you break down, because the Evo parts are a little harder to come by out on the road. So we stepped up to the twin cam.
Awesome. Well, what's
really cool about the whole thing is the fact that we've been with Kyle Wyman and the racers and talking, sitting around, and they're these racers. They go fast on these unbelievable machines, but they'll say, we want to go on a tour like you guys go. We want to ride around the country and feel that air. And
Well, I'm a little bummed at Rispoli.
Yeah. Why?
Because he was supposed to come ride with us.
Yes.
And he ended up going out with Sandoval somewhere. So I don't know. I need to talk to someone at Harley that arranged that.
Well, your ride sounds like it's going to be fun. It's pretty cool getting on some older iron and knowing what our current new product is all about, and then getting on older iron and then getting back on the new iron. It's like, wow, what a drastic change. Pretty amazing.
It's interesting you say that. I've ridden the old bike, and I have an old truck I drive once in a while, and then you get on the new bagger. I have a 24. It's like you're flying. You're like, I can't believe how agile it is, how fast it is. It's strong. It's just, and parking is never a problem.
Yeah.
So
it's go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's like you said, that the new bikes are absolutely amazing. I rode on the Kyle Petty ride. I had a 2025 Street Glide CVO with a 135 cubic inch motor put in it, and wow! Not only did it draw a lot of attention with everybody on that ride, including Kyle and Richard Petty and um, Kenny Wallace and a number of the NASCAR guys, but that motorcycle, it really works well from front to back. They're just amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you
what
know
was
what's
one of your
cool about that? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What's
Go ahead.
so neat about the innovation and the advancements, yet still being able to pull in the lineage, the heritage, and the feeling of a Harley and the look and the sound. It because of that innovation and we're able to do all that, it further entices you to ride more and ride further because
Yes,
you can, because they're more comfortable and they're more capable, and it's amazing. It's just an awesome feeling.
I agree with that 100%. And you know, it's really funny to stand in our warehouse and look and go, here's a 2005 Electroglide and a 2025 Street Glide Ultra, and you can tell that they're both Harley Davidsons, but you can tell one's more modern and has stuff that the other one doesn't. But yet, anyone in a car that doesn't really know, they're going to see a Harley Davidson on either one.
Well, then
Yeah.
you compare that to the 1975 Ironhead that we have
Yeah.
there as well. Like
Yeah.
there's a few differences.
Yeah.
Talk about one of your favorite carbureted rides. I think we just launched a new mid-year bike that you guys were pretty proud of. We were at Laidlaw's doing that stuff, and
Yeah.
that wasn't carbureted, but I think he rode one of those bikes back in the day.
Yes.
I did, and that is one of my babies, if you will. My 1990 Fat Boy. It has a lot of meaning to me. That was the first big twin that I purchased after I joined the company, and the fact that Willie and his much smaller team back in the late '80s put that Fat Boy together and launched it. I'll never forget when we launched that bike. It really opened the eyes of the entire industry, and made the cover of all the magazines back then. And to know that yeah, to know that bike that launched in 1990, the Fat Boy, it's timeless, right? It's here we are. Okay, there I am. Yeah, that's my bike. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's at the front entrance of Juneau Avenue. But
is that bike still around anywhere?
That particular one?
That particular bike?
Yeah, it's in my garage.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's my personal bike, and I love that motorcycle.
Awesome.
Well, you can hear the passion in your voice when you're talking about that bike and what that time period, how great that was for the company.
Yeah. And the new Gray Ghost, the 35th anniversary of the Fat Boy, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. All the things that we've changed, the suspension, the ride modes, the paint on that bike. It looks like chrome. It's actually paint. So you clean it just like a regular painted motorcycle. You can wax it. And it's a cool bike. I need a bigger garage.
I think you need sunglasses even at night with that bike.
Yeah.
That thing pops.
Yeah. They had it on display over in Croatia at the Hog Rally, and people were all over it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're headed to Born Free, and I know, Brad would show up there. I know, almost no homage to Willie, where he would show up at the different events to see kind of what's happening out in the scene. We're excited to kind of see what what we're going to see in bike builds this year. Talk a little bit about, the rallies and how important those things are.
Well, Harley is much more than a motorcycle. It's a passion of a lifestyle, and within that lifestyle, there's these magical moments of when you ride into an area where there's all kinds of motorcycles and people from all walks of life, yet they're all getting together, they're all socializing together, everybody's laughing, having a good time. And those are Harley Davidson experiences, Harley Davidson events. When you think about it, it's a community of people coming together to have a great time. And their means of getting there is on a Harley Davidson. And so you're comparing stories of your ride, of the physical ride, as well as the motorcycle itself. What have you done to it? What have you accessorized? What have you changed? And so events are really important because it's a means of enjoying your Harley Davidson, and it's a means of getting to know other people from all walks of life and having a great time. And from a business perspective, we know that if people ride more, they're going to the dealerships more, and that's a
Right.
positive for everybody. Our dealers love it, our customers love it, we certainly love it, so it's a positive all the way around. And
Yeah, we had a guy in yesterday from Makuni. We're maybe putting some Makunis on the bikes. We'll see, but we were talking about our open house and Lance's son's open house and the crowd of people that we got at both of those events. And he was mentioning, that is so unique really to Harley Davidson riders in that community to bring people together like that. I thought that was right. Just exactly what you're saying,
Yeah. And
Well, it's such a
there's
powerful.
go ahead.
It's such a powerful lifestyle. I mean, we all had other careers that we did, but right now our life is all based around a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Whether it's our travels that we do, we're out there shaking hands with America, and that's talking to people, and our store and the stuff that we give back to the community and helping people. It's all because of motorcycles. So it's personally changed my life completely to that's what I do, and that's what we all do.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. When you think about it and you try and peel it back to its simplest form, it's pretty amazing because I can't think of another product that does what a Harley Davidson does for people. That the fact that when Willie and myself and Karen, when we're signing autographs and people are thanking us for changing their lives, that's a powerful statement. And it's because of everything the brand does, the motorcycles do, the parts and accessories, the clothing, it's all of it. The Harley Owners Group, the Ride Challenge, getting people out riding, and it's awesome.
Well, I've said this a number of times. When Lance and I first started riding together, I think it was just more about what the two of us were doing, and we weren't really baked into the community, and not really until we started, 2LaneLIVE 5.5 years ago, which is crazy to me. It's been that long. Now we started getting more of an immersion into it, and we've said this a number of times. It's almost that we've created a opportunity, a channel, a sanctuary for mental health, for good vibes, where people can just kind of let go and dream and ride and have a good time and meet good people. And it's really struck a chord with us, like he was saying earlier. The number of people that we have coming through, or the number of comments that we get around, you've helped me get through a serious crisis or situation. That wouldn't have happened had it not been for us putting together this channel, at least for us. And I don't think we realize the power of the community.
Yeah. Well, and I want to thank you guys too, because what you're doing is just great for the sport, for Harley, and the whole industry, really. I mean, it's fantastic. And to show people what you can do and the fun you can have. I mean, that's the other part. Riding a motorcycle, it's a blast. You know?
Yeah,
It's,
everywhere we go, it's fun.
right. And the people you meet, and I tell you a quick little story. I was giving a presentation for one of our dealer groups called Windy City, and there were several hundred people in the crowd, and I said, how many of you, when you're done riding your Harley and you park it, you put it on this kickstand, and you get off of it, you're smiling a little bit, you feel great, and you start walking away, and you maybe go 10, 15 feet, and then you stop and you look back at that motorcycle,
I
and
do.
you're so in awe and so inspired, and you say, thanks, that was awesome.
I can't wait to see you again tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Right?
It happens
What's
to me
the
all the
next day?
time.
Well, I think one of the things we should touch on a little bit, because I've seen some comments come through, is the ride challenge. And when we were talked to about this, to me, I can't think of a better way for an individual to really go out and enjoy. They don't have to do anything but ride. And if they plug into each of their dealers when they do that, I mean, they're entered to win a bike. They can get patches, they can get coins, and all they have to do is ride. We signed up. We're doing it, and we're having fun with it. We got a couple hog envelopes in the right. We've got badges. We're monitoring on our phone. I mean, what better way? And then at the end of the day, after all that riding that you did, there's a give back to a charity, reputable charities. I mean, what a unique and great idea. I think, I don't know, talk a little bit about the ride challenge, and we don't have to spend all day on it, but I think it's super important for people to know.
Yeah, it's really a cool program. And what's so neat about it is the simplicity of it. It doesn't take much at all. You go to a
Right.
dealer, you find the QR code, you click your camera at the QR code, you fill in 2 or 3 things, you find somebody at the dealer to look at your mileage, and you're done. It's registered. You're earning points, and the more points everybody earns, the more money is going to a great cause, which is helping veterans, which is awesome. So not only are you having fun riding your Harley, you're earning points towards a great cause, helping veterans. And in the long run, there's opportunities to win certain things. So it's a really awesome program, and I encourage people to do it because it is fun, and you can compare notes with your buddies. You know, what have you done? How many points? Da 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 da, and it just becomes
Yeah, what
another
level are
thing.
you at?
Yeah, another thing
I
to
mean, these
chat
guys,
about.
we ended up checking in at Santa Clarita Harley Davidson, and we were picking up a different bike. So these guys got to check in. I had to register to the new bike. Now they're way above me in points, so I got to get my other bike checked in because that is the one that has it.
Well, it can be a life-changing experience for riders, especially if you need somewhere to go and you want to ride. Once you do the first dealership, you're going to say, I want to go to another one. And
Yeah.
then you're going to start planning your routes on these great roads, and you're going to say, hey, there's Harley dealerships everywhere I'm going, so I'm going to do it. And not only am I feeling good about the points I'm getting, but we're helping the veterans. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And while you're helping someone, you're getting this experience of a lifetime, whether you're riding by a forest or a cilantro field or a river. I mean, we've learned so much about the history of this country, whether it's restaurants, railroads, buildings, hotels, Route 66, and it's all doing what we love to do. And now we can give back more than we
And by
expected.
the way, if you're listening to this today or 3 months from now, you can sign up at any time.
Yep.
Sign up earlier because you're going to get your miles clocked in, but you can sign up anytime.
Anytime. Yep.
So, yep.
And you mentioned going to the dealerships and how cool that is. And really the Harley Davidson dealer network is the best in the industry, bar none. And each of our dealers is a unique destination. So it's really cool to get out and check out these dealerships. I mean, they will welcome you with open arms and take care of you, and it's awesome.
Well, ever since we've been riding any of our journeys 15 years ago, and we'd go ride somewhere, you always stop at the dealer that you're riding by and you get a cup of coffee, whatever you do, buy something or go to the restroom, whatever. We were doing it anyway. Now there's a challenge that just kind of makes it a little more fun. So it keeps you like, hey, there's 2 dealers on this next run I'm taking. I'm going to go in there and say hi, and get the challenge, get those points rolling.
But for us, it's, to your point, Bill, most of them will take care of you, and most are, we've found different routes because of them saying, hey, go this way. If you're headed that way, take the side road or what have you. And we did last year. We're doing it again this year. We're going to stop at 4 different Harley Davidsons. We'll be at Durango Harley Davidson. We'll be at Twister City Harley Davidson, Dillon Brothers, and finally at House of Harley. And every one of these dealerships, we had the dealers on last week or the week before on a live, and they were showcasing their dealerships, and every one of them are excited to have us come through. We're planning a party, and we'll be checking miles in, but the most important part is, creating and being with them in that community environment, and they're proud of their dealerships.
Absolutely. And they should be. They've worked very hard to create what they have, and for them, customers coming through the front door means everything to them, and it's family, right? They want to know and grow the family, and it's fantastic. So they roll out the red carpet. It's great.
Well, and that's another draw to Harley, right? I mean, you're within typically 100 miles, maybe 150 of if you have any issues, of a dealership that you can get to. And that's one of the fun things too, is to go in and see what that dealership looks like. Twister City's got, I guess it looks like the Taj Mahal. It's got some unique build to it. So we're excited to step into that one. It's going to be really cool.
And it's funny, every time we go to a dealership and our wives are on the trip with us, all of a sudden we'll turn around and we can't find them. We know where they are. They're in the motor clothes. And
we can't take them to homecoming anymore because they just tear up the museum.
Yeah, they're always holding up their shirt going, isn't this cute? I need to get this. And you're like, we have so much packed that all right, I get it.
That's great.
You mentioned early on, and I guess this will be our 3rd homecoming. And last year, I don't think we realized the enormity of the crowd that was there until we saw a drone shot of Jelly Roll and Machine Gun Kelly, and out there were like 40,000 people in the park.
Yeah.
You guys have decided to keep this going, not just an anniversary thing. And tell us a little bit about what you think homecoming means to the brand, and a little bit about the headline. This is going to be a great concert series as well. Like Jelly Roll killed it last year as well, but this is going to be great.
Well, when you think of the birthplace of this great brand, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA, that's where homecoming is. Yeah. And so it's a pilgrimage to celebrate. It's a pilgrimage to celebrate friendships, to celebrate the awesome adventure of riding. And the entertainment is top notch. I mean, Chris Stapleton, Hank Williams Jr., and Buck Cherry is playing at the museum. And I mean, it's really a neat event. And we have 5 or 6 dealers that participate. I think it's 6. And so there's so much to do in the Milwaukee area between where the concerts are, obviously the museum, where I'm sitting right now. And then we have our engine plant, which is open for tours. We have all of our dealers that put on their own events with music and activities. So you come to Milwaukee July 10th through the 13th, you're going to have the time of your life. And it's all about having a good time.
Well, if you ride a motorcycle, you ride a Harley Davidson. I mean, we've told people for years, oh, if you get a chance, you're cruising by Milwaukee, go see the museum. Now there's a reason to go, a real reason to go and hang out and meet people and have a good time. So no excuses. If you ride, you need to go check this place out.
Well,
Yeah,
I just
go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the enormity of it the first year, and even last year as well. It was just like the bikes lining the bridge, and you know, we were talking there. It felt like it was, and I think it probably is bigger than Daytona. Like that the last 2 years have felt there's been that many people that have just imploded that place. And every one of them smiling, have a good time. We were actually able to do a little bit on the news channel, and watching people come through there for the local news, and had a little interview with them. And it's just amazing to me to see how many people are actually there.
And in Milwaukee, there's great restaurants.
Yeah.
Downtown is amazing.
Cheese
It's like
curds everywhere.
history, good beer.
Spotted cow beer with some maybe
Yeah.
some venison salami. Yeah.
So it's always a good time.
Yeah, Milwaukee is a great destination. Like you said, great restaurants. People here love the riders. They really love having all the Harley riders in town. There's great riding in this area as well. I mean, you get 5 minutes outside of Milwaukee, you're going to be in some beautiful areas. So it's really a great place to come and enjoy 3 or 4 days of just great stuff.
I mean, you've been to Sturgis several times, and you always leave from Milwaukee because you live there, right? So
Yep.
do you have some memorable trips from Milwaukee to Sturgis?
Oh my gosh, I've been going out there forever. And my first ride out to Sturgis, believe it or not, was 1985.
Mm.
And things have changed a lot over the years. And,
So you must have been like 10 or something, because I graduated high school in 85.
Yeah. Yeah, Sturgis is amazing. And the pilgrimage out there is just fantastic. We're going to do the ride again this year. What's really neat is my sister and I and some really close friends, some employees that ride with us, we're kind of following the same paths that Willie and I and Karen and my mom used to do years ago when we were riding out to Sturgis as a family. And now it's a little bit different with Karen and I and my daughter, my stepson, and Angie, and our good friends, and it's awesome. In fact, we were just the other day talking about Britt, Iowa. And Britt, Iowa is the, believe it or not, the hobo capital of the world.
Really?
And they have a little restaurant there. It's called the Hobo Cafe. And the walls in that Hobo Cafe are filled with art that various hobos have created as they're running the rail.
Wow.
It's a really neat place. A lot of
We'll
history.
have to check that out. We tried to crack the code last year, but we weren't able to get some of those.
Because we did ride from Milwaukee to Sturgis.
So it's the 85th. We were just up at our family cabin, and my mom, who doesn't get around so much as well anymore, we put her on the back of a four-wheeler and strapped her in and took her out for a little bit. We got to figure out a way to get Willie strapped on back of that trike and go for a little run.
Yeah. He'd love it.
An hour to Sturgis with a smile on his face.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be there in a heartbeat if he could. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
lots of
talk a little.
memories.
Yeah, talk about some of those memories. Like, as you think, I mean, it's kind of like us being asked, what's your favorite ride? There's just so many things that you can go to, but
Yeah.
is there one of those memories that you want to share?
Well, it's talk about riding, and then you break that down into riding with your family. I was very blessed to be able to ride with my dad, Willie, going out to Sturgis with some good
Yeah,
friends, and I will never ever forget any of those experiences. Those are
right.
memories I absolutely cherish. And we'd laugh, and oh my God, we had so much fun. And years ago, um, 1985, we stayed at, I think it's now a Super 8, but it used to be called the Outlaw Inn. And that's where we were running our demo fleet from. And that was the first job I had with the company, was to develop a strategy around a demo program. And so I was running that part of marketing with the demo fleet and the demo trucks. And I'll never forget the first time we took all of the demo bikes out to Sturgis. We had meetings to discuss if that was the right thing to do or not. And I was like, yeah, it's the right thing to do. And so we did it, and it was fine, no issues. And we've been doing it every year since. But the Outlaw Inn was a really neat little motel. We got to know the owners, and we would sit out in the evenings on their front stoop with a grill, and Willie would be there with all our friends, and we'd just watch the bikes go by and waving to people. And it's changed a little bit now. We that whole area has changed quite a bit, but it's still fun no matter what. It's still a great adventure going out to Sturgis.
Yeah, and we can't decide, but I think this will be our 10th or our 9th.
8th.
8th. I don't know. But we haven't missed one in the last 8 years. And
Awesome.
for us, originally it was a little bit more about the excitement of the rally, and it's always been part of the ride there. But I think we enjoy the ride there even a little bit more now, because we do today, when we get there, we do a little work for the channel, versus where we didn't do that in the past. We could enjoy just the surroundings a little bit more. But it's really important for us with the group that we ride with to get there and enjoy those times. And
Yeah.
this year is going to be super cool, because we're all on. His son challenged us to get on. The first challenge was to find bikes for the year we were born, and we're the two oldest guys in the crowd. And it's like, no, we're not riding a 1960 and 66 bike. Like, we're not doing that. So that we all agreed to carbureted. We've got some really cool plans to get there. We're looking at maybe doing a camp out in Monument Valley. We're looking at
Awesome.
maybe taking a half-day river trip out of Moab, and the plan hasn't come together, but we're looking forward to that camaraderie and that ride, because every year it just gets better and better. And we're lucky, because our group of people, there's never a problem, and everyone's very flexible. And if something goes wrong, we all dig in, and it's a great time of year.
And one thing, we ride all over the country. We've been in Canada. I mean, we have been in the most beautiful places, but no matter what, every year about this time or a little sooner, we get really excited to think we're going to Sturgis.
Yep.
There's just something magic about it.
Yeah, exactly right. I was just going to say there's something magic about it. And it is a great time. And what's so neat is the country is so vast. And Sturgis is just a little area, and to get there, you can take so many different routes.
Yeah.
and stop at so many different Harley dealers along the way. And what a, I think of the ride challenge and some of the routes you could take to stop at dealers, and the dealers are all throwing parties themselves because they know it's Sturgis week. So they're throwing bands and everything else. It's great.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that too, because when we had the dealers on a couple weeks ago, they were talking about that. They're putting in the hours because they know people are coming through their city, their town,
Yeah.
their state, and they're all hands on deck to make sure people are either, if you've got a breakdown or a problem, that they get you out on the road again. We've met a couple for the last 4 or 5 years in Sturgis, and every year they purchased a new bike on the way in.
Wow.
Because they get into a dealer and they're like, "Oh, we got to have this," and they ride out with a new motorcycle.
Or they'll say,
every year
we
for
should
4
change,
years.
we should change the oil. Nah,
Yeah,
let's just go buy a
exactly.
new one. You know, it's true story.
Oh, that's
True
awesome.
story.
That's
And we
awesome.
always see them in Deadwood, and they told us
Yeah,
about a new bike
every
every year.
year.
That's fantastic.
Talk a little bit about the, I don't want to call it platform, but the new bikes. We're on 2024 Road Glides, and we just added a 2025 Street Glide Ultra to the stable.
Yeah.
We have been blessed to do a lot of work with you guys and get out and ride these bikes, even when they weren't our own. I'm a firm believer that the 2024 and above models are like on the bagger side. And I don't know much about the others because I haven't ridden the others, but out of the box, these bikes are incredible. I mean, suspension's upgraded, the ride's upgraded, the 117's liquid cooled, and I'm just talking touring. I mean, we were talking a year ago, like even with the upgrades that, were starting to be packaged by Harley, it's going to be a tough row for us to hoe sometimes because those bikes don't need necessarily an upgrade immediately. We're thoroughly impressed and enjoy them. Talk a little bit about your satisfaction with the newer bike models.
Well, I think our lineup is spectacular right now. I think the color offerings, the Gray Ghost, and some of the icon models we've been introducing, the touring platform is absolutely superb. I mean, it is a phenomenal motorcycle through and through. And
Yep.
I give a lot of credit to our entire design and engineering team, manufacturing, that work together to push the bar, raise the bar on these motorcycles. They're amazing. When you get on one of these newer bikes for the first time, it's like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you look at the parts and accessories that are available. I mentioned I rode a 135 on the Kyle Petty ride. That 135 in sport mode, it's whoa. Be ready for it.
Yeah,
I like that. Whoa.
yeah, be ready for it. So you like all the bikes, and you'll ride them all and everything like that. But right now, you're got to go on a trip. What bike are you going to go to first?
It's a great question. Because I really like our Softails as well. I mean the Lowrider ST.
Yeah.
I would love to take that bike cross country. I think it's just
All right, there you
phenomenal
have it.
motorcycle. And
So
and I like the touring bikes. It's a good thing I got a big garage. As they're all different. People often ask me what my favorite motorcycle is, and I say all of them, because
Good.
they all give you a different experience, whether it's a Sportster or the V-Rod from years ago, or a brand new Street Glide, or a brand new CVO ST Road Glide. They're incredible. And I tell you, the newer Softails, the 2025 Softails, those people need to check out. they are really impressive. The changes we made to the powertrain, the calibration to cater to the type of bike, whether it's a Lowrider ST or a Heritage Softail, the suspension upgrades, phenomenal.
Yeah.
All the LED lighting, they're really, really cool.
Awesome.
I'm interested a little bit. So you're at the Hog Rally in Croatia. How's that compared to here? Is it similar vibe? Is it like what from people we get people here every week from other countries, and it seems like
Yeah.
we're compatible, but when you're at a big rally like that, is it similar vibes?
It is similar. I mean, there's some differences. The Italians like to party all night. And
Okay.
so they'll go till 3, 4 in the morning, and really, we had a great time. They have we've been introduced to this. It's a double-decker bus, and it's called Viva Loco. And there's um, a bar on the bottom half of the bus and a DJ booth on the top half. And so the DJ is cranking all kinds of music out. You order your drinks underneath that through the bus window. And then everything out in front of the bus is a huge dance floor. Huge. And they're playing really fun kind of to the beat music where you want to dance. And everybody's doing it, and it is really fun. So that's a uniqueness.
Well, I was just in Italy, and we were at Harley Davidson Aroma, and we know some people there, but there was a hog group there, and we told them that we were going to come to the dealership, so they told their hog group. And for me, it was really great to be there because only one guy spoke English. None of the other ones did, but they wanted to shake hands and get some pictures. And it was like, even with no communication, there was 100% communication.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I've said this before where I've been very fortunate and very lucky to be able to travel the world and spend great time and ride and have fun with other Harley riders. And no matter where I go, it feels like family, even if you can't speak their language, because the common thread is Harley Davidson. And they love it as much as anybody. The passion, the magic, it's the same around the entire world. And that sense of freedom and that sense of the open road and that spirit of adventure, it's all there, and it's great. And what's really cool when you go to different countries is that spirit of adventure changes a little bit because it's usually in a geographic area you've never been to before. So you're coming around corners and you're seeing towns and architecture and just different stuff. And boy, if anybody ever has a chance to fly over to Europe or anywhere and rent a Harley, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Well, and that being said, you can go to eaglerider.com through 2LaneLIVE.com with the link and pick up your bike in Europe and ride around the country.
Yeah. It's great.
So we've got a couple more minutes left and appreciate your time. Is there anything you'd like to bring up or talk about that we haven't discussed?
Well, just one thing, as we were talking about the hog rally and going over to Europe, I guarantee you the Europeans feel that same way about coming to the US. They want to see the Grand Canyon. They want to do Route 66. They want to know about Sturgis. They want to come to the Harley Museum. So that's what this camaraderie, this synergy is so powerful. And when you're there to talk about that and hear what they have to say, it's really, really fun.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because like in 2020, when we were at the rally, it was missing a little something. And then almost for 2 years, and so was Route 66. And then call it 2022, all of a sudden we start seeing people coming back into the travel scene. And now you've got the rally takes on a little different form because you've got more of a mixture of people from different cultures and worlds. And so it does, you can tell there's a difference when, but there is that similar, you called it a common thread. He calls it a common throttle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone knows how to do this in every language.
And maybe everyone shouldn't be
Yep.
doing that. They should be like here, you know.
Well, I think at 2Lane Life, we're going to challenge everyone out there listening to go and join the Ride Challenge and hit up dealerships and chase us around the country. Come and find us. Catch us if you can.
You might even get a ride with us.
Right. You never.
Like, how important would
Yeah.
that be? Jeez. Well, as always, we appreciate, you know, you and the time you've given us over the last few years, and for sure the family legacy we're just so proud of too, because that's, I mean, it's created a lifestyle and a brand in our minds for us at 2Lane that's really giving back. And I don't think that there's anything more than that. What?
Josh's.
Not mine.
Yeah.
You know, as I was saying earlier, I don't think that we realized, you know, what Two Wheels were going to do for us. And we're just trying to pay it forward and pay it back. And I think we appreciate Harley Davidson for helping us with that platform and your family, because that's where it all started.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. And, you know, a lot of people that I've met over the years at different events and different rides, they're always so gracious and thankful of being part of it. And I just want to share that we are so grateful, the family and for Harley Davidson Motor Company. We are so thankful for our dealer network and for all of the customers that ride with us. And we ride with you guys as well. And it's awesome. And thank you.
Yeah.
So
Hey, thank you.
What does this hat say?
Says, go ride.
Go ride, baby.
And,
Sign up for the Ride Challenge and go ride.
Right.
Absolutely.
Bill,
fantastic.
Thank you. And I think hopefully we'll see you at Homecoming would be the next stop. That would be great to run into you if we get that chance.
That would be fantastic. I look forward to it, guys. And thank you so much for everything you're doing. And I enjoyed our conversation very much. Thank you.
And watch our carbureted bike fiasco. Wish us well.
And
I want to see you guys in Sturgis. I want to hear all the stories.
Yes. And we'll see you down the road. I know we will.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hang on one sec.
That was rad. Bill never disappoints with his stories and his emotion that he shares so well.
I mean, I'd like to really dig in and ask him some more personal stories, just because he's got so many, but you don't want to, cross the line anywhere either. But I could listen to his stories. It's like reading the book that Willie wrote.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
I got to read that again.
Yeah,
a little refresh.
Ride free, go ride. Right.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in. 2lanelife.com. Get all your merch. Eagle Rider, you can click on our link and rent your bike through us, save a little bit of money.
Yeah, now that you mention it, this episode was also brought to you by Eagle Rider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Don't forget to go to 2lanelife.com under the Eagle Rider tab to see how you can book a trip, save some money, and have a good time while you're at it. I do remember that still. Also, if you haven't seen our video that we keep yapping about that we dropped yesterday, which was June 18th, 2025, if you're watching this sometime in the future, check it out. It's fun. We hit the road in the truck, picked up that bike. They went 2-up. The guys rode 2-up to pick up Lance's bike. We are going to share plenty more on throwing the bikes together and then eventually ride them across the country.
See y'all in Milwaukee.
See you down the road.
Down the road.